Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can guarantee getting to 10K, 20K, even 50K per month with this very simple system. A lot of people are just sort of randomly trying to grow their agency, grow their business online, and they don't really have a specific way to do this. And I'm going to pull the curtain back. I'm going to show you exactly how you can get to your goal very quickly and very efficiently. But if you don't know who I am, my name's Ben Lister. I help agency owners, business owners by documenting all my learnings, all my findings on this YouTube channel that currently help me to make about multi-six figures per year. So let's dive into the computer. I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so whatever your goal is, whether it's 10K per month, 20K per month, 50K per month, just make a note of that. And we also want to track our client LTV. So if you charge $1,000 per month for your services, and on average your clients stay for about 3 months, then your LTV, your lifetime value, will be $3,000, right? So the average value of what your clients actually give you over the course of them working with you throughout their lifetime. So you want to put this down. You also want to make a note of your closing rate. So this is how many times when you have a call with someone and someone actually shows to the call, what percentage of those do actually convert into clients. I've just put this at 10% here, pretty conservative. You also want to track your show rate as well. So out of all the calls that you have, what percentage of those that go from booked to actually showing on the call. So basically the opposite of this is your no-show rate. The opposite of this obviously is going to be 30%. So the no-show rate in this sense is going to be 30%. And then the booking rate. So this is going to be how many outreaches you do to get one booking. So for example, if you book one appointment per 100, then it's going to be 1%. If you book 10 appointments per 100, then it's going to be 10%, so on and so forth, right? Pretty simple stuff. And so what we can start to do when we have this information is we can start to work out how many clients that we need to sign in order to make $10,000, right? So if we want to have $10,000 per month with just $1,000 LTV, then we need to sign 10 clients, of course, because that's basic maths, right? So we divide the goal by the LTV to get that. Next, we want to find out how many calls we need to have. And so if we need 10 clients signed and we have a 10% closing rate, then that's going to be 10 divided by 0.1, which is the 10%, which is going to give you 100 calls conducted. So this means 100 people need to be sat on the phone with you and you need to have a conversation with them in order to book those 10 clients. And so once you have those 100 calls, then you want to divide by your show rate, so 0.7. This is going to be basically the number of bookings you need, not how many people actually show up to the call. And so in this instance, it's going to be 143 bookings. And then once we know 143 bookings, we can then go and reverse that from our booking rate of 1% and know that we need to make 14,300 outreaches per month in order to get the 10 clients signed and get to that 10K per month. And so basically, this works out as about 658 per business day. So if you do Monday to Friday, and I've actually thrown this all into a spreadsheet here, which I'll make available. It's very, very simple, but I'll just make it available just so it's easy. And when you have a goal here, right, you can put the 10K in, the LTV in here, the closing rate, all that kind of stuff. What this will do is we'll show you these numbers, right? So we worked it out as like 658, and it works out as like 657.5 or something like that, right? Which is obviously not major. It's not a major difference. If you're doing 6 business days, so like Monday to Saturday, for example, then it'd be this amount here. But the cool thing about this is once you actually set the numbers in here, right, and you say you want to make 10K per month, right? Let's say your LTV is going to be 2K. Now this is all going to change based on that, and so when you put this information in here, you can see what's actually is realistic. If it's telling you to go and send, 500, 600, 700 outreaches every single day, which could be emails, cold calls, social media messages, whatever it may be, then you know that something might be wrong, right? There's going to be some point where you can't really do that. Even if you outsourced it, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's not really achievable to go and send 1,000 emails every single day, especially when you're just starting out and you're less than 10K per month, right? And so what you can start to see here is actually, instead of just going and sending more outreaches and just going and putting more volume through the system, there's something specific that I need to do here. And so if your show rate, for example, is 70%, you can definitely get that to 80, 85%, right? And so let's say I get this to 85%. Now that's going to change how many outreaches I do. And to be honest with you, it hasn't changed all that much. Maybe there's something else that I can do here that's actually going to change this to improve it, right? So let's say I can work on my sales skills, my closing rate, right? So I'm going to go from 10%, I'm going to get this to 17%, let's say. Now you can see that's a massive change there. So I've gone from 328 down to 193 outreaches per day. Now this is looking a lot more achievable, right? We've got a 2K LTV, the show rate has stayed the same, we've got a 70% closing rate, but I'm still getting a booking rate of just 1%, right? Maybe I want to test out some new email copy. Maybe I want to try some new systems that are out there. So let's say I go from 1% to 1.5. And then boom, just like that, all the way down to 128 emails per day. So this is all just outreaches in general. And so this is very, very achievable, right? You could easily automate 50 to 100 emails and then do, 10, 20, 30 cold calls every single day. Maybe do some social media stuff as well, something like that. And so you can very easily see here what is actually required of you in order to get to your goal. And so even if your goal is, 50K per month, right? We know this is really going to step things up, but at 50K per month, we probably don't want to go and sign 25 clients a month. That's quite a lot of clients, right? So maybe we want to change our LTV. Maybe we need to get that up. We work on our onboarding process, work on our service delivery. We need to make sure that the clients that we have on board are actually getting results so they stay on a bit longer. Then I can increase my prices because I have a few testimonials from those clients. Let's say each client then is going to be worth 5K, right? Now we can see we're getting something down to something that's a lot more realistic still, 250 per day. At this point, when we're aiming for 50K per month, then we can start to outsource a lot of this, right? And so we can really ramp that up. We can do 200 emails a day, no problem at all, right? And so then we can start to work on a few things, maybe hire a better closer in place. Maybe we can get that up to like 19%, for example, and we can just see the kind of skills that we're stacking here and the metrics that we're improving, just how much that's dropping down, right? And so when you're getting this down to sort of 200, 250, I would say that's kind of the point where, it's probably achievable. Anything above that is kind of unrealistic to do, 250 outreaches per day. And remember, this is from a pure outbound perspective. So this is no inbound, this is no paid ads, this is nothing like that. These are all things that you can do on top of this. So this goal here is going to be from a purely outbound perspective. So you can make 50, even 100K per month from a purely outbound perspective. And of course, there's probably better ways to do that. Obviously, combine some ads in there, combine some inbound in there, all that kind of stuff. But this tool here is really going to help you to break this down. And so when you have this number here, there's 230, right? If I just go back to the 10K, which at this point is going to be pretty easy because each client is worth 5K. If I just go back to 2.5, so let's say 100. We know that if we send 100 emails, 100 outreaches every single day for a consistent period of time, then there's no way that we don't hit our goal. There's no way this doesn't happen because the numbers here say it. Even if we get a little bit unlucky, right? Let's say the booking rate drops for like no apparent reason. The show rate doesn't really stay the same. It kind of drops a little bit. If you set the goal as 92 per day, then obviously you're kind of on the edge. But if you just double that, if you add 50% onto that, if you just make sure that you're going to do way more than 92 per day, then there's no way you don't hit your goal. So here's a guaranteed way of making sure that you get to 10K, you get to 20K, whatever your goal is. It's right here in numbers. There's no disputing this. This is basically how it works. And this is how I got to my first 10K per month. And so, yeah, if you apply this and you do this correctly and you track all the numbers and you do your metrics properly, then there's no way you don't get to this point. If you're looking for more clients, link in the description. I don't care if you click it or not. It's just a video of me. It's not some training or anything like that. But like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.